Hey world, and welcome back to Narcissistic Exposure. Today we're going to talk about narcissist symptoms. Now, you've probably heard them before because most of the symptoms are the traits. So let's get into it. Grandiosity, of course. A sense of superiority. Now, what you're looking for is splayed, I'm in charge body language. You know, their feet will go that way for a start, and they'll be spread out wide. They'll be like this to try and take up more room to look more impressive because they believe they are grand. This also coincides with their superiority and ego complex. Perfectionism. They demand perfection, don't they? You know, I can't think of any perfection examples except with they demand perfectionism out of other people that they're associated with, yes, but they also demand perfectionism out of themselves, which is quite confusing because you'll see it with how they're dressed. You know, their hair brushed just so, maybe makeup if they're that type of person. Very smart clothes, shirt mostly. You know, like you won't get a knock in a vest. You won't, because it goes against their perfectionism, their grandiosity, their superiority, and their ego complex. You won't. You might wear one under a shirt, but it's very rare that you'll see one out and about like in the summer. It'll be a shirt. Attention seeking, that need for validation. So, you know, picking. Pardon me, I just somebody did it. But yeah, they're picking. That. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Does this look good? Does that look good? Kind of like when girls get ready before they go out. But this is every day. Every single day with your partner. Does this look okay? Does this belt go with these shoes? Does this go with this? You know what I mean? But that depends on the type of narcissist you're dealing with and if they care about your opinion. Whereas I'm pretty out there with my clothing, and I always got asked, does this look okay? Does this go with that? Does that go with that? I'm like, well, yeah, wear what you want. You know, I don't care if you wear two different shoes that are different colors. If you're comfortable, then let's go. But that's me. No boundaries, disregard for limits. Now, the no boundaries thing, this is the smear campaign all over again. This is, they have no boundaries, they have no rules, they have no morals. That doesn't exist in the narcissist's world. All they have is a grandiosity, perfectionism standard in which they hold themselves to, but they hold others higher against it. Because, again, don't forget, just because they do something wrong, they can project their issues onto you, can't they? Blaming you for something they did wrong a few hours earlier. So again, it's all interconnected. These are the symptoms you want to look for and avoid if you can. And if you are a person suffering with narcissistic personality disorder, you need CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, if you're willing to go in there and tell them absolutely everything about you, and I mean honest, leaving nothing out, not one thing about you, what you've done, they can help you. They can actually help you. I literally start my cognitive behavior therapy training in September next year. I'm doing a few other courses as well as hypnotherapy and, yes, hypnotism. But I'll be going to a different school for that. And that's surprisingly only 8-9 months worth of training. So I should be finished in time to do level 3. Yeah. Oh, by the way, wish me luck. I got an exam on Monday. But yeah, back to the narcissistic symptoms. Insecurity, so fear of threats. So if you've got a vulnerable narcissist, you're already in a sticky situation as it is, because as far as I'm concerned, they're the most dangerous. Again, at least with a malignant or an aggressive type of narcissist, they're willing to be physical, so you know who to be afraid of. A The narcissist I'm referring to is the one that will give you digs. They won't confront you directly unless they fear like they have no choice or no other option, and then their rage will come out. That those fear of threats is another reason why they start the smear campaign, because they know if they gaslight these people in advance, then they've got friends for when the narc survivor, me and you, figure out what the fuck they've been doing and tell them to get the fuck out of our lives. And they've already gaslighted hundreds of others, if not thousands, on their smear campaign with slagging your names off and mine. So, again, you want to put your foot down when it comes to this type of thing, because again, that smear campaign does not only destroy your life, your profile, your personality, it can destroy your career as well. I mean, all you need is one little bit of evidence of what the narc is doing, and that is 10 to 20 years in prison because they're going after your career. That's it. All messages, all that, record everything. When you get a phone call from a narc, stick your screen on screen recorder and record it. It is your word against them. You need evidence. And yes, you will always need evidence. Lack of empathy. So again, the quickest way to check if someone's a narcissist is to ask them about an emotional story or tell them an emotional story and watch their reactions. If they're not like this, oh my God, I'm so sorry. If you can't see pain in their face, they have no emotion. They have no empathy. You don't want that in your life. You really don't. If they can't empathize with you, they can't feel what you feel. They can't feel what you feel. They're dead on the inside. You cannot help them. You cannot save them with love. That is a stupid, dumb notion that was put forward by Disney and romanticism of the flipping movies and all that around it. Because if you watch most of the movies and series that are out from the past 30 years, you will notice no end of narcs. No end. There's superior acting ponces. Right, deflection, shifting blame. Wasn't me, it was them. They won't own up to anything. They won't. They won't. Like, you could work this in your favor, like on a first date. Like, come back and say, did you tip my drink? Or, accidentally knock it and say, did you tip my drink? And see what they do. If they just say, oh God, I'm so sorry, I'll replace it now. That could still be a momentary lapse of just admitting, because again, this is the mask stage now. This is their persona. They put on this mask, this charm, this charisma, all of that to woo you, to get you into the position so they can take advantage or use you. They may call it love. My ex still calls it love. I don't call it love. I call it management. I call it managing what I do, positioning me, moving me where you want me to go, and then confusing the situation even more. That's what I call it. Madness. Trust issues, so fear of rejection. So, again, it might not be a bad idea. Slightly reject them on your first date. See what happens. Watch for their retaliation, their behaviors. Why do they do that? Why do they behave like that? What was the reason? What was the cause? Why are they still behaving like children when they're a fully grown adult? You know what I mean? There are loads of ways you can work this in. Not a team player for being for one of them. Poor collaboration, not very good. They'll give orders, they won't be very good at taking them. Deep-seated shame, hidden insecurities, not something you can really test on a first couple of dates. Lack of love, emotional incapacity, now that you will see. Especially if you go to a restaurant, if you're tipping or anything like that. They will kick up a fuss and send food back. Or they could be like me, and they could be lactose intolerant and gluten intolerant and may have no bloody choice but to send it back. Depends on the restaurant. And the anxiety and the controlling behavior. Again, they will try and dominate you. That's what it's all about. And that anxiousness, you'll see it with the dominancy while they're trying to dominate you. But I'm not kidding about this. You're looking for, I'm big and I'm hard, I take up a lot of room. splayed feet. So going out like that. Wide apart, like that. Pointed outwards as if their hips have been twisted outwards. I've noticed this now in about 5 narcissistic men. I'll say it before and I'll say it again, although I haven't said it on here yet. Get the Dummy's Guide to Body Language. I'm only on page 15, and so far I'm like, wow, people really act like that because of that. Just seriously, teach yourself, learn everything you can. It will blow your damn mind, really will. Blaming as well, that projecting of negativity. So don't forget, they're projecting onto you their issues and what they've done wrong. So they're blaming you. It's also a form of deflection. It also shows lack of empathy. It also shows trust issues. It also shows their perfectionism, their attention seeking, their controlling behavior, their no boundaries, and their lack of accountability. Projection is the main one. When they blame you for something you haven't done wrong, you know something's up. You know. Because they can't be man enough or woman enough to look in the mirror and go, oh, fuck, I did that. I'm so sorry. It's not that difficult, is it? But a narc can't do that. But at the same time, a narc can. It will apologize to its, how can I put it? To its slave. To me and you. It will apologize. Because again, that mask, that, yeah, all of it that comes with it, that charm, that attentiveness, that gentlemanness, that, you know, we literally go, put it this way, we went from him opening a car door to get the fuck out, do it yourself. It's like, you've gone from one personality to another. And then 3 months later, it's different again. They are adapting. Excuse me. They're changing their personality because it doesn't work with you and how to control you. And with that in mind, thanks for listening.